Hi everybody, it's Shelly. The therapeutic craft I chose to do was a giant wall art dream catcher. I chose this craft because I have seen dream catchers and they're pretty. I have never done one, and it seemed like they were doable, but
supplies needed for this craft are fabric, twine, sharp scissors, hot glue gun, and hot glue or another adhesive.
I was nervous about how long we were supposed to spend on the craft, thinking there's no way I could take 12 to 15 hours to make a dream catcher. But once I found a pattern, got the materials, set up a station for it, I was starting to see how long it would take. Once I actually began the craft, the tedious wrapping of the twine around the hoop took forever. I became a believer that it was definitely going to take me 12 to 15 hours to do it. Then when I started cutting the material and tying, yeah, it took me plenty of time. It was really beneficial for my mental health. The project was a really great opportunity for me to slow down and do something kind of mindless.
The ease or difficulty in doing the craft, it wasn't necessarily difficult. It was really reading and interpreting the directions that was hard. I had to redo several parts because the directions were kind of unclear and I had done something incorrectly. The craft itself was easy. The time it took, it was
the two most challenging steps I encountered when completing this craft were attaching the twine to the hula hoop and cutting/attaching the fabric strips to the hoop. Attaching the twine proved to be challenging because of how long it took and the relative coordination of getting the hot glue on the hula hoop that was kind of slippery, and then wrapping the twine around fast enough before the glue dried and making sure to cover up the gaudy colors of the hula hoop. The second most challenging part, so the cutting and attaching, that was challenging because when cutting, the fabric would frequently slip and my cut would go sideways or it would get kind of stuck on the fabric. When tying the fabric to the hoop, sometimes the top of it would fold over kind of wonky, so I would have to adjust the knot so the fabric was even with all the other knots.
As far as what the final project means to me, I'm actually sort of proud of the finished product. I didn't think of myself as being very creative, and I don't tend to do very well sitting down for long periods of time doing repetitive activities. I get bored. But for me, this craft was doable without being too frustrating. I did have to redo the center webbing a few times because that part was kind of complicated. I eventually adapted the webbing so that I was content with the pattern. But anyway, I think it's cute. I got a lot of positive feedback on it, so the dream catcher exceeded my expectations. When I saw it, I was like, wow, I made that. I've been known to underestimate my abilities and lack confidence in some things I do or have done. So when I can actually see that something that I completed something successfully, that's a winning moment.
The craft of reflection of your social cultural background.
This craft activity is part of some Native American cultures. They believe that if they hang a dream catcher near them when they sleep, it will filter the bad dreams out and allow good dreams in. I don't share those same beliefs. So for me, this activity is just aesthetic.
What activities do you have about the type of clients this activity could benefit? Well, for starters, this could be beneficial for a client who is very busy, has an imbalance in her proportion of work to life. She's under a lot of stress. This could also be beneficial for someone needing to work on their attention and focus. Once engrossed in the activity, it was hard for me to be distracted, so I could imagine the same. As far as grading this activity up or down, this craft could be made on a smaller scale. I made mine really big to be a wall decoration, but it could be made really any size. Making it smaller could be grading it up or down depending on the client and their condition or their treatment areas. It could be graded down by purchasing pre-cut fabric strips or having the therapist pre-cut the strips for the client. It could also be graded down by folding the fabric in half to make half the number of cuts, by using a hoop of some sort that didn't require such careful work, so using a hoop or some kind of a ring that was metal or wooden, that wasn't all the bright ugly colors of a hula hoop. This activity could be graded up by using more fabric to tie at the bottom, using less sharp scissors, by using a different adhesive that didn't dry as quick. Is the final product.